Trading Nut, episode 117.
My big account that I swing trade on, I'm about a 90% trader. 9 out of 10, probably even a little higher than that. 9 out of 10 trades I'm winning. And I have a very, very intricate way, like a very detailed way that I approach the market when it comes to that. Because even when I lose, I win.
The market's going to do something. Your job is not to fight it.
The market never, ever runs away. It's always there.
That personal diary of trading will make you a much better trader than...
I could be right about the direction, but wrong about the trade.
Don't focus on the monetary side.
Trying to make too much money on a trade is what I have seen killed every trader.
Your losses offer you some of the greatest insight you can find into your mistakes.
Relax, learn the process.
Candlestick pattern trading is a freaking trap.
Don't be in a rush to become a millionaire.
Let the market tell you what the market wants to tell you.
This podcast is not financial, trading, or investing advice of any kind. What's up, traders? Welcome to another installment of the Trading Nut podcast. I'm your host, Cam Hawkins, and today we've got Anthony Williams on the show, aka Anthony's World. Now, guys, you're about to hear what is probably one of the best stories I've heard on the Trading Nut podcast and even the 52 Traders podcast. So if you are ever thinking about giving up on your dream of becoming a trader, then this is the episode to listen to time and time again. So it's a really good story. I was on the edge of my seat, and I know you guys will be too. So that's coming up in a second. And after that, we shot a video with Anthony where he breaks down how he trades today. So how he gets into a trade, what he does when it goes wrong, which is really where I think the magic is, and you guys are going to get to see that in action on the YouTube channel. Links under the video here, or there will be links on the YouTube channel. Just go to Trading Nut, you'll find it. Also, I'm going to stop teasing about the merch and the new logo. I'm going to make it happen this week. I've put my foot down. I'm going to do it. We're going to get a new Trading Nut logo. You'll be seeing it on your podcast. If you're listening to the podcast, you'll be seeing it on the website and other places that are Trading Nut. You'll see the new logo, which means you'll see a merch store as well. So if you want to get a Trading Nut cap or a Trading Nut cup or anything like that, we've got those rolling out, and that store's just going to grow over time. Now, last but not least, we got the Trader versus Trader final happening this week. It got postponed from last week because of Easter. I completely missed Easter, forgot about it. We've got it happening this week. If you do want to take part in the next series of Trader versus Trader, then there is a button on the live streams page. Go and check that out on tradingnut.com. Click on challenges in the top navigation, and then find the button and fill in the form there, and I'll be in contact with you if you're going to be selected. Look, if you're doing your back testing in a manual fashion, but you want to do it in an automated fashion, you want to semi-automate some of your trading or fully automate your trading, then I have still got my Robot Builders Club open. But you're going to have to come and message me first before you join, okay? So I've changed the way to join for the time being. You're going to have to email me, cam@tradingnut.com. We'll have a bit of a chat, and then we'll see if you're right for the program and get you on board for my Robot Builders Club. So guys, there's that to think about as well. But for now, let's get on with this great show with Anthony Williams. Whether you're a struggling trader or a profitable trader, our sponsor, City Traders Imperium, are offering you the chance to become a fully backed Forex trader. That's right, get coached and funded with CTI today. All right, folks, here we are. We've got Anthony Williams with us here on the Trading Nut podcast. He's been trading for 7 years. He's a Forex trader. We're going to hear his full story today in the show. So, Anthony, welcome to the show all the way from over there in Florida.
Yes. Thank you so much for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, it's a pleasure to have you on. I know you've been trading Forex. You've been trading a bit of crypto as well. So to start off with, we want to get your full story. Like, how did you get into it? I'll dive into, and then sort of your story up to date, and I'll dive in with a few questions along the way.
Love it. Let's do it. So how did I get started? Oh, man, I was 17, I think. This is like right when I dropped out of high school. Right after I dropped out of high school, a few years and working a job, and I was just kind of like trying to figure out things, and I saw one of my buddies that I went to like middle school with. He was like 18, like 2 years older than 18, 19, and he bought a Maserati. And I was like, yeah, and I was like, what the hell are you doing? Like, why? How did you buy a Maserati? And he was like, oh, I do this thing called Forex trading. And, I did the whole, like, I'm not going to say skeptic thing, but I like started looking into it like immediately. And then I realized that he was part of an MLM company and all that other stuff. And so Yeah, it was just, that's pretty much how I got started in trading. Just saw someone that I knew buy a Maserati, and he said, I got it from Forex. And I was like, that's what I need to do.
And do you think you got it from the Forex, or did you think you got it from like MLM?
Oh, no, definitely the MLM side.
Okay, right.
MLM
right.
side.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
For sure.
Okay, cool. So that's how you got into it. And so, I mean, how did that journey progress from there? I mean, like usually people stumble along the way. How did it start for you?
Man, I'm not going to lie. I didn't know what I was doing. I put $100 in immediately. I didn't even open a demo account. I said, I don't need no demo account. And I was sitting there one morning in my room, and I remember like I had no idea what I was doing, but I clicked buy, and it like went up, and I made like 3 cents, and I closed it. And then I realized that I lost 4 cents because of commission. But from that moment, I was hooked. I was like, I remember running out of my door and screaming to my parents, I just made 3 cents.
Yeah, brilliant.
And but I really lost money. And I just, it was great. I miss those days. I miss those days of that good stuff like that. So
how did you I suppose go from like, you know, making your 3 cent win, and which was actually a loss, to becoming a bit more serious about this? When did it turn serious for you?
Well, it kind of just progressed over time for me. And what happened was I had a really good job. If you could call it a job, I kind of ran 2 different businesses, and I kind of worked on my own schedule, but not really. It was like one of those things where you work on your own schedule, but that your own schedule is 24 hours a day. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I kind of did that, and then I had enough money saved, and I was like, I got to do this. I was like, this is what I want to do, you know. And I started learning about it, and I did the whole read through baby pips. I bought, I didn't buy, but I bought into IML. You know, and they had that
the education
the MLM company.
Okay,
that's an education company.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I like bought into IML. And then there was like all these videos, and I would hop on lives with people. And then like with Christopher Terry and all them, this was like back when IML was not what IML is today. Right. This is way back, you know? And I just kind of like straight up just dove headfirst in. I quit my jobs, everything. That's why this is like 3 months after learning about trading.
Right.
Like I just quit my job. But then again, I had enough money saved up. Like I had money saved, and I quit those jobs and I went full force in. I said, you know what? I got to go in. I got to do this, you know, even if it's just for myself. And then I just started with it, and I did baby pips for a little bit, but I'm not a reader. Sounded miserable. And then I did the whole like marketing thing where I just kind of made connections with people, and I just started marketing, and I wasn't marketing it, but marketing myself to people that were like learning at the same time, and they would come to me, would all hop on a Zoom, and I'd be like, oh, this did this. Oh, this did this. Oh, this did this. You know what I mean? And I like started just picking up things. And then that's when I kind of was just like, all right, I quit my job and did everything like that.
and was there like, sorry, first of all, how many hours like were you putting on this a day, for example? So you're doing 24 hours in businesses. How many? When I was working my jobs, I was straight up like waking up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I was doing the trading in the morning, going to my job, working one job, eat lunch, work out, go to my other job, come back and trade until midnight. I would sleep like 4 hours a day, and then only on sleep on Sundays, really. Damn. I mean, I was a solid like 7-8 hours a day on the charts. And so when you didn't have the jobs, after you quit the jobs, what did that look like?
It was 24/7.
Right. It was just
there wasn't a time. I was literally just looking at the charts. Like I was just staring at them all the time.
Yeah.
They were always up.
Just jumping in here with a quick message from my sponsor, Sage Capital, who provide education software and tools needed to increase anyone's ability to trade more successfully. perfect for people who are either still learning, too busy, or just want to use professional grade strategies to build passive income. They've achieved high returns with relatively low risk and are available for auto copying today. Go to sagecapital.co.uk and start auto trading today. And was there anything like with all these sort of, this marketing, you've gone out there and marketed yourself to find other traders who are doing the same sort of thing and potentially, you're sharing knowledge in that. Was there anything in there that you were like sort of blown away with and it was almost like, man, this guy's got the holy grail or anything like that? Or was it all just piecing things together?
No one had the holy grail. I don't believe anyone does. I don't think there is a such thing. The one thing that caught my attention was I would watch somebody, one of my friends, they would use Bollinger Bands and Divergence and they'd make money. Another of my friends would trade with the trend and they'd make money. Another friend would go against the trend, trade reversals, and he'd make money. And then other people would trade breakouts and they would make money. And then the next day they would do the same thing and lose money. So for me, my objective was like, wow, there's so many ways that you can make money in this market. I need to learn them all. Right. And that's when I just started going in and I have notebooks. I have everything just filled with things.
Cool. And so how did you piece together your plan from all the notes you were taking? How did that come about? And filtering things out of it as well.
Like my trading plan?
Your trading plan and your strategy and that sort of thing. How did you come up with that?
So I will be the first person to say I don't have a trading. I do in a sense, but I don't really have a trading plan.
You won't be the first, mate. Trust me.
I don't trade a strategy.
Right.
I don't believe in strategies. Okay. I don't think trading strategies work. That's just my take on it. They do for some people, but I don't think they work overall. And it's just what I believe when it comes to it. And it's not that I don't have a plan. It's just I've been in this for so long. I can look at a market and just be like, all right, this is what this is going to do. This is what this is going to do. If it does this, I do this. If it doesn't do that, then I don't mess with it. You know what I mean? So for me, it was just that repetitiveness of chart time. I did nothing but stay on the charts for hours and hours and hours and hours a day. I would wake up every morning and I chose 4 or 5 pairs. I don't remember exactly. And I would write down the opening close and the opening price and the closing price every single day, Monday through Friday. I wrote down the times and then I would go back on the weekend and I would say, okay, it opened here on this day. It closed here on this day. And then it opened here, but closed here. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, why did it do that? And that was a big thing that kind of changed my trading perspective, is just keeping track of everything.
And so did you keep a trading journal when you were doing your actual trading?
Yes and no. My trading journal wasn't more of like the trades that I took, but it was more of what I was like what I was seeing.
Yeah.
I've always been the kind of guy to like write it down as I do it. Like I'm gonna jump and build the plane on the way down, not plan it out before. Yeah. You know what I mean? So I would get into a trade and I wouldn't really write it, but I would write down why I was getting into a trade or something like that, or what I saw in the markets, if that makes sense.
Yeah. And so was there a time when these, the stars aligned and things started to progress, like i.e. started to become more consistently, profitable?
It happened so many times. So many times. It happened so many times. I remember saying, I got the holy grail. It happened so many times. And it's a hard one to say, like, was there a time that it aligned? And it did and it didn't. You know what I mean? There was times where I'd be like, oh, wow, that really works. And then I would just stick with it for a while until it didn't work. And then I would make good money. I would. So I'm going to say that what really took it to the next level for me was years. It took years for me. It really did. I'm not going to be the first person to say I did it in 2 years. I did it in 1 year. I did it in 6 months. I didn't.
Yeah.
It was like 4 years for me. And what was that really, that moment for me was when I did my $100 account. I started a $100 account at the beginning of the year, and I traded nothing but a penny lot on it for the entire year.
Right.
And when I did that at the end of the year, I had like 80 something percent growth. It was pretty crazy. And that was at that moment I was like, damn, I might actually know what I'm doing. And it wasn't even like an actual trading moment. It was more of a looking back on what I did when I stayed focused and dedicated. It's like, damn, I know what I'm doing.
Yeah, that is dedication. Seriously, I mean, trading a penny lot for a year is a very hard thing to do. And I had a guest on recently, Justin Mueller, who challenged people to trade a mini lot for a month. And
I'm actually doing one right now. I don't know if you saw my YouTube video. I'm doing one right now.
Are you doing a penny lot challenge?
I'm giving away $50,000. Yeah.
Oh, actually, no, I saw a different one. You said where you're giving away $300 in Bitcoin or something, but you're giving away 50 grand for.
I'm giving away $50,000 to the person that has the best FX book for 3 months on a $100 account. They can only trade a penny lot.
Oh, really? That's awesome.
Whoever has the best FX book. Yep.
Okay.
I'm gonna give away 50 grand.
And how do you enter that? Just side note.
It's on YouTube. You just create a $100 account and hook it up to my FX book, document it, and send it to me.
Okay.
At the end of it goes from April 1st to June 30th.
Okay, so you got okay. By the time this goes, I'll try and we're going to be. Oh no, April's the next month, right? So we got enough time.
About a week and a half.
Yeah, a week and a half. So by the time this goes live, guys, if you catch this at the start, I might bump this forward just so you got a chance to get it.
Well, I mean, it's not even like I just want the FX book to be at least 30, 35, 45 days old. So if you get in late, you're fine.
Okay.
Just it doesn't matter. Just have a good FX book.
Okay, cool.
You know,
that's an awesome challenge because I think that's going to really bring out some amazing traders out there.
It is, and that was the whole point of it. I made a whole video on it because that's what I did for me. This is what happened. This is what I did. And I want to put this into people's, mind and perspective that, hey, you might actually know what you're doing. You just might be losing money because of poor decisions.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not poor trades, poor decisions.
Yeah. I can really sort of relate to what you said there around how many times did you crack it? I mean, I thought at the beginning of this year, I'm like, I've cracked it. I mean, I had an amazing week, 80% win rate. Account just grew exponentially. And by the end of it, I was like, I've done it. Could not be repeated. I'm like, what the hell happens? Anyway, so after that year of trading penny lots, what did you do? How did you go? Okay, right. I think I've got consistency. What happened next?
I put more money in and I blew the account. I put more money in and I blew the account. And it was my last straw. It was like I wouldn't say it wasn't my last straw, but it was like up there. It was like, okay, at that moment, I realized I knew what to do on the charts. I didn't know what to do mentally.
Right. Okay. And so
I didn't know what to do mentally. And that was my biggest challenge.
And what do you think was falling by the wayside mentally?
I don't think man, I mean, that's a hard question. That's a good question. Sorry, I cuss a lot, by the way. I wanted to be successful faster than I could handle the success. It wasn't the charts that was kicking my ass when I was losing money. It was more of I would win 5 trades in a row, lose 1, and blow the account on 1 trade. It was stuff like that.
And was that because you just were risking too much on that? Like you won 5.
It could have been risk. It could have been risk too much, or too attached to the money, or holding the trades too long. It was numerous things. It wasn't that I knew what I was. It's not that I didn't know what I was doing. It's just that I mentally wasn't ready. Mentally wasn't prepared for the success that I can say now what was coming. I didn't know it was coming. I wasn't prepared for it.
And so how did things finally sort of flip around from blowing that account?
So I pretty much went broke. Slept in my car, everything along those lines. Got like pretty much kicked out, all that stuff. And I went to Texas and worked a job selling cars for like 2 weeks. And when I was selling cars for like 2 weeks, I didn't know it was only 2 weeks at a time. I made like $2,000. Like it was a little over $2,000 or something like that. And the first thing I did, I was like, this is my last time. This is my last time I'm doing this. I put half of that into an account. And now, don't get me wrong, like I was pretty much homeless at this point. Like I was sleeping in my cars with friends, family, like, you know what I mean? Like just hopping around. So I should have not put money into the Forex market. Let's be real. And I did it. And I'm talking about, this is like, I was 20, 21, 22 maybe. This is 4 years into the journey, 4 or 5 years into 4.5 years, something like that. And I ended up putting $1,000 into the account. And I said, you know what? I can always get a job again. $2,000 for, 2 weeks is not that much money to make. I can always get a job. So I quit the job and I turned that $1,000 account into like 14 or 15 grand in 1 week.
And how many? And what? In 1 week?
1 week.
What?
Yes.
How the hell did you do that?
I don't know. It was one of those things where I think I finally said, I'm not afraid of losing any more money.
Right. Yeah.
And it clicked, man, and it hit, and I went trade after trade after trade, closed the loss, trade after trade after trade, and I just won. And I ended up taking out like 10 grand, and I had like 5 grand left over in the account. And then I started slowing it down, and I started taking smaller positions. Now that I had money in the account, smaller positions, and I was doing like, at that point, I was doing like a solid 50% a month. I mean, don't get me wrong. I mean, that's a lot of percentage, but the account was small. So $2,500 a month is not that hard to make in the Forex market.
So that's probably, it's got to be the best story I've heard on the show in terms of a trading journey. That's crazy. So I mean, it actually reminds me of other stories I've heard where people have literally got to rock bottom, and that's the only way they've managed to get over the mental aspect of dealing with the success the market can bring to you. And I suppose when you've got nothing left, it's the perfect
you got nothing to lose.
Yeah, exactly.
Apparently not too long ago, like my dad was actually on a podcast talking about me, and with my friend Andy Peters. I don't know if you know him, but he's kind of making some headway in the trading world. He's more of a crypto trader. Good dude. But my dad was on a podcast with him, and they were sitting there talking, and he asked my dad, like, hey, when was the moment you knew that he was going to be successful? And my dad was like, when he completely hit rock bottom. Like when he had nothing. He was like, I saw it in him at that point. Yeah. And I was like, dope. Because my dad helped me, but he didn't, like, which I'm glad he didn't. Like, don't get me wrong. If I would have called him and said, hey, I need food, you know what I mean? It would have been, there would have been, money there, but I was too prideful at the time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Had to swallow that ego, hit that rock bottom.
And in that week where you just, you took that 1K and grew it to 14, 15K, I mean, at any point were you like sweating it and feeling like, hey, man,
dude,
what's going on here?
Cool. I was cool as a cucumber, man. I don't know what it was, but man, I knew it. From that point on, I knew it. I knew it was a wrap. I was like, this is it. This is my future. And
you'd had 2 weeks. You'd literally had 2 weeks, maybe even more, off trading completely when you were doing the car sales job, and so you come in afresh, like, and your brain's almost settled down and just gone, right, here you go. You know what to do. Just execute.
Mm-hmm.
Unreal.
And all I was doing was scalping, and then I started that, and I started teaching that scalping, what I was scalping, how I was scalping. I started teaching that, and that kind of gave me some traction, and I started making money from teaching people. I think I was right around a few hundred students, like 300 students. I taught them what I was doing at the time, and then it just kept growing and growing and growing from there.
And so you're still doing that same approach that you've got now, or that you had back then?
No.
And why is that?
I've learned.
Yeah.
I've just learned so much.
And is that just through looking at what you're doing and evolving, or some other means?
It's just evolving. It's evolving. I used to need, like, let's say I used to need fibs. I don't need fibs anymore. I used to need, RSI to detect things. Don't anymore. I can look at a naked chart now. And it's just because my brain is programmed so much. Like, I'm actually looking at the charts over here at the same time as I'm looking at this. Yeah. And it's just crazy to think, like, I use them because they're there and that's what they're meant for, but I don't need them anymore. It's just evolving as a trader.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's awesome story to get us into the show. So do you want to talk us through, like, your trading sort of metrics now? So what do the stats look like? Like, how often are you trading? Let's go with how often are you trading? Like, is it a few trades
How often do
I
I trade?
Yeah.
It really depends. I have multiple accounts for different things. Like, I have one account that I use for scalping because every once in a while I'll get bored and want to try and do something ridiculous on US 30. I don't know why, but I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I have other accounts where it's an intraday, where I only take the 4 hour time frame. And then I have another account that is like a swing trading, and that's my main account. That's like my main account where I'm laser focused on this account. My main account, I take maybe 5 trades a month, maybe.
And if you're scalping, I mean, how many trades a day are you going to take if you're scalping?
Anywhere from 10 to 20.
Right. And
intraday will probably be about 10 a week.
And what about win rates on these different accounts?
My big account that I swing trade on, I'm about a 90% trader. 9 out of 10, probably even a little higher than that. 9 out of 10 trades I'm winning. And I have a very, very intricate way, like a very detailed way that I approach the market when it comes to that. And then, because even when I lose, I win. So I have a very, very intricate like way of approaching the market.
Yeah.
And then my scalping, my problem with scalping right now is it's usually I'm trading a smaller account. So I'll go from like 10 grand to 100 grand in like a week or two. And then I'll go crazy and lose most of it.
Right.
So like, it's not the win rate, it's the emotions behind that. Like, trying to, because my goal is to flip an account from 10 grand to $1 million.
Right.
Like, that is my goal, is to do it. And I get like, so that happens sometimes. And then my intraday, I'm about a 70% trader on my intraday trading. But the great thing about my intraday is I actually shared quite a few of the charts on my Instagram this week. My intraday, my stop loss is like, it's like I have like a 6-to-1 R to R.
Right.
So if I lose one trade, like I could lose 3 trades and win 1 trade, and it makes up for all of those.
Yeah. Yeah. Awesome. And so you're swing trading, what's the R on those?
Like, what is the what?
The R to R on your swing trades.
Oh, R to R on those. Usually about 2-to-1, 3-to-1.
And scalping?
It's probably usually about 1-to-1.
Okay. Cool. And what time frames are you looking at when you're analyzing the chart?
My favorite is the daily.
Right.
I love the daily when I'm swing trading. Daily is my favorite. The hour is really good for my intraday strategy. The hour to the 4 hour. 4 hour is a little too much, but the hour is like that perfect groove. And then when I'm scalping, I look at everything below the 30-minute.
And
I trade three very different strategies. Scalping is completely different than intraday, and intraday is completely different than swing trading. They are three very different strategies.
Wow, cool. And what markets are you trading these on?
Scalping is pretty much only US 30. Right. I only scalp US 30. I swing trade and intraday trade any pair. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter the time. Doesn't matter the time. Doesn't matter the pair. Doesn't matter none of that.
And why do you only scalp US 30?
It's just the funnest.
Okay.
It's just it moves the fastest. Yeah. I mean, I'll occasionally scalp Bitcoin, but that's very rare because it's such a trending market. So US 30 is that's my scalping.
And so scalping Bitcoin, how do you do that with the wide spreads that most brokers offer? I've always been sort of intrigued as that because I sort of see it as very much a swing.
Well, because I mean, it moves so fast that if you have the proper leverage and the proper risk, you can get in like at a good spot and catch a good drop.
Okay, cool. And okay, sweet. So if you had to sort of walk us through your typical trading day, what does that look like?
My typical day, I mean, on Sunday is when I will pull up my phone and I'll actually show you, I guess. I will just go through and mark up every chart that I see, anything that I see anything on. I lay in my bed Sunday morning and that's what I do. For all of my charts. Now, scalping, I'll come in the morning and I'll sit at my desk for, 30 minutes to an hour. But typically my intraday trading is all done from my phone on Sunday morning. And I'm out of my trades by the weekend. And then my swing trading is all from TradingView on my computer.
And how many screens have you got?
I have a TV, I have another monitor, and then I have my Mac, and then I have another monitor there. So I do MT4 or MT5 on this computer, which is also hooked up to this computer. Yep. And then in the middle, I have TradingView, which is my Mac.
And what's on the TV, just like news and stuff?
I will sometimes just connect my phone to it so I can watch. Because I like the way that the phone allows you to not look at so much. Sometimes if you're looking at a big screen, you can get drowned out by too far back, too much stuff going on. So I like that a phone allows me to only look at this much sometimes.
Cool. It's awesome. Yeah, it's interesting to get an idea of people's setups. Like some people just trade from their phone only and others have got quite an intricate setup. Mm-hmm. So that's fantastic. Okay, so what I want to jump back into is you said you lose. When you lose, you win. How the hell do you do that?
So the way that I trade, my swing trading is I am a trend trader. So I am literally, I catch the pullbacks. If the market is trending up, I'm looking to buy the pullbacks. Okay. And the only time I lose is because I have confidence and like nerves of steel, I guess. Like I can hold a trade. Like I hold trades for, I have an 800 pip profit floating trade. Like I hold trades for hundreds to thousands of pips. Like that's nothing for me. And so the way I trade is I catch these pullbacks, and let's say the market doesn't necessarily pull back. So let's say we're in an uptrend, right? Yeah. And the market comes up and then it pulls back and I'm in, say, a buy here, right? Yeah. But let's say it keeps going down. Well, what I do is I have a sell stop to where my stop loss is for my buy.
Yeah.
And so let's say it breaks the structure. Yeah. I have a sell stop that is 3 times the position of my original buy.
Right.
And I take profit on that. So when I lose a trade, It's hedging. It's hedging, but
Yeah.
if you know how to properly hedge, you can do it right.
Yeah.
So I'll just have like a sell stop. I mean, it's a lot more intricate than just that.
So it's sort of like the break of a trend. You know the trend's broken now, so therefore the chance of your sell stop working out is going to be much greater than not working out. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Very simple. It's very simple stuff. I taught a little bit about it on YouTube coming out, and it's very simple stuff. And that's just what I do. So, I mean, it works for me. Yeah. I'm not here to say my trading strategy is perfect or the holy grail, but it works for me. So I could give two.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, that's it. I mean, the irony is right. Like a lot of guys who are making a lot of money out of this actually have found something that works for them, and there'll be a lot of naysayers out there going, oh yeah, but hedging doesn't work, or oh yeah, but you need to have a stop loss or something like this. But then these guys are churning out, you know, thousands and thousands or tens of thousands of dollars every month, or even shorter term time frames than that. So it's like, what do you want to be? I suppose it comes back to that saying of, do you want to be right or do you want to be rich? And so there's a lot of people out there that are in the chats and in the comment sections going, hey, that's not the right way to do it. Well, do you want to make some money or not?
There's no right way to trade Forex.
Yeah.
I can say that right now. There's no right way to trade Forex. I know people that wake up and take one trade every day, and they really don't know, even like, I'm not going to say they don't know what they're doing, but like, they're like, yeah, I just take one trade a day. And then I wake up and I say, flip a coin, say I'm gonna buy or sell. I mean, not really, but you know what I mean? Yeah. They're very like, it is what it is, but they make money.
Yeah.
I have friends that are 30% traders. They win 30% of the time they take a trade, but they're still profitable.
Yeah.
They're still making money.
Yeah. It's whatever works for you guys. Now, what do you think like made you different in the beginning? I think your story is very unique, and I think there must be some sort of key things in there that has made you different from a lot of people out there who are still struggling with this.
Made me different in Forex, or made me different in life?
In life,
very different things.
Different in life, but obviously maybe that would have potentially impacted your success in Forex.
I mean, the people that are successful in any way, they're just bred different. And I'm a firm believer in that. I'm just bred different. Like my mind doesn't work the same way as 99% of the people in the world. It doesn't. I can't focus. I have ADD. I have anxiety. I can't sit still for more. I don't know. You probably see me doing this the entire time, moving back and forth.
Yeah.
I can't sit still. Like I'm just bred different. Like I have 17 different projects that I'm working on at one time. Half of them people don't even know because I don't post anything on Instagram. Man, some people are just bred differently.
Yeah.
And their mind is just differently. And I think the biggest thing along with that is dedication. I knew I was going to be here right now. Didn't know how, didn't know when, but I knew I was going to be.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think that it tells from the story you told at the start where, like, you know, you've got a very different, you don't have a systematic approach to trading or like a strategy as an A, B, C, D, E. You've got a completely different way of looking at things, which sort of ties back to what you've just said now, which is like, you know, you've got a different mindset to a lot of the people out there. So what do you recommend for somebody who doesn't have that mindset, like who hasn't been bred like you and hasn't got that way of thinking and can't deal with 17 projects on the go at one time? What would you say to them?
Consistency. Like if it's for trading, chart time. Specifically, if you want my advice to become a better trader, every moment that you're awake and that you possibly can, you should have a chart in front of you. And you should eventually convince yourself that you know what the hell is happening. Like dedication and commitment and teaching yourself how to be patient and staring at charts. I, to this day, still look at my charts for 3 to 5 hours a day. Now it's on my phone majority of the time. But like I still like I lay in bed and I scroll through charts. I have to look at charts because the market's evolving. People are getting smarter. Too many people are making money from Forex.
So
it's going to change.
So what would you recommend somebody focus on when they're looking at a chart?
I don't think it matters. I don't, and I'm not going to be the person to tell somebody you should focus on trend lines, or you should focus on harmonics, or you should focus on divergence, or order blocks. I don't, if you should focus on continuation, your liquidity zones, structure. I'm not going to be the person to tell you that, because I'm going to tell you one thing. They all work and they all don't work. They don't. They do and they don't. They work for some people and they don't work for other people. You need to figure out as a trader what's going to fit you and how you do it. So you should look at the charts and say, oh, it did this. Why did it do that? Go back 2 days later. Oh, I think this is going to do this. Let me see why. Experiment. If you're in sales, go open up another account and be in buys in the other account. Maybe you can figure that out. You know what I mean? Like there's so many different tools that you could use. Trading is 50-50 at the end of the day. It's 50-50.
Cool. So
it's better odds than a casino.
Yeah, exactly. Well, zero-sum game is what people have said in the past. So what do you you mentioned earlier on, you said, you think somebody else who wasn't bred like you, maybe if they had consistency, they would be able to crack the market. What about, do you have any could you come up with any mindset tricks or hacks or something that will help someone become more consistent, or even just some other sort of mindset type of gimmick that somebody could implement to get them more, give them more of a chance?
Yeah. I guess I would do, number one, make sure you look at the charts every day. That's the most important when it comes to Forex. You'll hear me say it 105,000 times. Look at the charts. That's the biggest thing. Convince yourself. I talk about mindset. My YouTube is about mindset. I talk about how money's not real. I talk about all of the other stuff like that, because you have to trick yourself into believing. I mean, our entire world and system is literally just pushing us down to not be successful, and you have to convince yourself that you already are. So when you want to be consistent, every chance that you get, do something to become more. Tell yourself that, I'm going to be more consistent. I am more consistent. I'm all in the mindset, man. That's me. That's what I believe in. I don't believe that there's a holy grail to Forex that's going to make someone better. I believe it's in here.
And thinking about a retail trader, I mean, if you had to say to somebody, hey, look, this is for the next month, master this, what would it be?
Controlling your losses. If I'm talking purely Forex, controlling your losses. That's why I got good at hedging, because I hated losing. I hate losing. I hate losing at anything. I'm so competitive.
Yeah.
I hate losing. So I had to come up with a way that even when I lose, I win.
Right. Yep.
Control your losses. A lot of people will come to me and say, man, I'm an 80% trader, but I'm blowing accounts. How the hell are you an 80% trader blowing accounts? Do you have it in my FX book? They'll send it to me. Damn sure they're an 80% trader blowing an account. And I'm like, what the hell? They're like, well, I'll win 10 trades in a row and then lose one. And I blow the account on the one. And I'm like, well, why? Because I held the trade I didn't have a stop loss. I moved by stop loss. I just held the trade. Accept those losses. Accept those losses. Losses aren't bad.
It's that, and it is that thing, isn't it? Like, especially if you do 80%, you're not used to losing. So therefore a loss, you don't want to accept that loss.
You hate it. The better trader you are, the worse trader you can. The better trader you are, the worst trading experience you can have.
Yeah. Right, so we're going to wrap up the show with a quick fire round here. So how long did it take you to go from newbie to consistently profitable?
4.5, 5 years.
What's your favorite entry setup?
Ooh, I love order blocks and liquidity zones.
What strategies do you use to exit or manage trades that are running?
I don't move my stop loss and I don't move my take profit. I just don't. I get in the trade and I let it do its thing. I turn my computer off.
Do you have a recommended trading book or resource?
No, never read a trading book in my life.
What's your preferred broker and trading platform?
Yeah, I don't recommend any brokers. You have to find which one fits you.
Walk us through your worst ever trade.
Repeat that?
Walk us through your worst ever trade.
Ooh, that one was bad. I got drunk and was in a lot of lots on US 30. Now, I'm not going to say it wasn't as bad as it sounds, but because I flipped a $100,000 account to $780,000 in 1 month.
What?
But I was in US 30 and I was drunk and I said, this is going to sell. And I hit sell on 5 standards or 10 standards and didn't put my take profit in because I was drunk. And I woke up to like $512,000 and a loss. Count blown. Well, it wasn't blown. It was margined out.
Yeah. Oh,
so
right,
basically account blown.
Yep. Damn.
Yeah, that was rough. That was a rough day.
That was a expensive night out. If you could leave our listeners with one piece of advice, what would it be?
One piece of advice would be stay true to you, stay consistent. I'm going to relate this to Forex since this is Forex. Stay consistent. Learn your craft and what fits you. There's no such thing as a good or bad mentor, I'm going to say. They're just as important as it is to learn what to do. It's also important to learn what not to do. Learning what not to do is really important because you can see if that fits you or not. Because I'm going to tell you, I don't think any mentor is going to give you the perfect strategy. You're going to have to turn it and bend it to you and how you see the markets because everyone sees it differently. But there's a million ways to make $1 million in this market. So stay consistent and chart time. Look at them charts every day.
Brilliant. Well, look, before we wrap up, what's the best way for the traders to get hold of you?
Instagram will be _Anthony's World _ or YouTube will be just Anthony's World.
Well, look, a big thank you to Anthony for sharing with us today. Everything we've discussed here, along with all the links, are in the show notes. To find them, simply search for Anthony in the search box on tradingnut.com. Until next time, I wish all my listeners trading happiness and success. All right, folks, interview with Anthony done and dusted. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I did recording it. Now, if you do want to see a bit more about how this guy trades, which I was desperate to see at the end of the interview, then please head over to the YouTube channel or go to Trading Nut, find the button that goes to YouTube, or even just find Anthony in the show notes and you'll find his videos there. Guys, see how he enters the trade, see how he places his stop loss, take profits, and what happens when his trade goes wrong. All there in this awesome video. Do remember, merch coming out very soon along with a new logo, so look out for that. We've got the Robot Builders Club. You got to come to me direct, cam@tradingnut.com for the time being to get on board whilst we're still taking members, and also the Trader vs. Trader Final and Trader vs. Trader Season 3. If you want to take part in that, then head over there to Trading Nut, find challenges in the top link, find the button on the page, and fill in that form, and we'll see if we can get you on a future episode. Thanks for watching, guys. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you in the next one.